So, about this year's Oronamin C commercial...
Oronamin C Commercial.
This may be the end, guys.
Henshin.
For those who have no idea what this means, I'll explain in further detail soon. But for those who know what this could mean, it is a sad day for us Sachika believers. Now, this may come off as a weird thing to make a video about for those who don't know the importance of this commercial, but every year, Oronamin C does an advert collabing with the current Kamen Rider team, and this has been a staple in the community and show for years now, starting all the way back in 2004 with Kamen Rider Blade, showing the riders drinking the beverage, pretty much endorsing the drink. A fun advert for fans to rave about. Never had it before, but apparently this popular drink is advertised as a health beverage, full of vitamins, shown more for kids, and the advert is always a kid falling down or failing an activity, and then the rider in the background is boosting them up with the drink, I guess. It's very Japanese commercial for those who know Long, Long Man. And that weird dog thing that always stands up and is kind of freaky. Yeah, that one. But why is it important? Why am I making a video on it? Well, this has become a semi-confirmation of who the three main riders of the year are who are going to pull us through to the finale of the show. It isn't 100% confirming it officially, but if you see this advert, you know what it sort of implies. Marcus has said to me that Toei doesn't officially go, these are the Kamen Riders specifically and no one else, but recently it's become a sort of tradition. So when fans see this commercial, everyone knows what it means for the future of the show, most of the time. So, when there is Gav, Valen, and Vram, it's pretty clear what this means, unfortunately, for us Sachika truthers. She most likely won't be a rider, which is an absolute shame. What is interesting though is that the others aren't really shown in their civilian forms like in every other year so far, only in suits, and Sachika is the only other one shown alongside Shoma. Does this mean anything? Why is it her shown instead of Honto and Lakia? Well, this may just be because of timing conflicts in filming schedules, but either way, at this point, it still seems pretty dire. I can already hear the victory bells from those in my comments who always want to tell me I'm wrong about Sachika, asking why I care so much. It's better to have a strong female companion rather than a weak-written woman in a rider suit. Well, what about all the male characters that have been written badly, huh? Don't see you getting all up in arms in my comments about Hikaru from Revice, where he literally doesn't do much and still became a permanent Kamen Rider out of nowhere. I even did a tweet about this. And other weak male characters that I was sent include Daiji from Revice and Spanner from Gotchard in their later half of their shows, Hiro from X-Aid, Makoto from Ghost, and so many more. Also, if I'm asking for a female character and the response for me from some people in my chat is, you'll get a weak female character, so don't get one at all. That's so dismissive. Why should I settle for 0% in female riders if that's the case? You guys have dealt with worse for Kamen Rider males. But also, mainly, you are straw-manning my argument, misrepresenting what I'm asking for so you feel better? When I ask for Sachika to be a rider, or think of Sachika in general, I don't see her as a weak character or poorly written in her core. Sure, I would love to see more of her past, why she is so obsessed with making everyone around her happy. What is her truth? But overall, I see her as this brave, independent, strong-willed, and fiercely loyal character who was willing to bash heads and run into a fight to help her friend who needed someone in his corner. She literally grabbed a bat and went charging. That run was quickly stopped by a worried Shoma, but you see what I mean. Why is it so bad for me as a woman to want to see Sachika as a rider and succeed, or even a woman as a Red Ranger? We have had so much on the others recently, like Honto and his mum, and Ram and his brother, and barely anything on Sachika from the get-go, other than knowing how determined she is and how she wants everyone to be happy. We don't even know about her family, except her grandma is rich. Also, what is it with Toku women recently having mysterious pasts and no discussion about it, like Sachika and Mira? But either way, As a viewer, I assumed this was due to the fact they would reveal something courageous or immense in the second half or final part of the show with her. There is a reason why such a large portion of the community and fandom wants something special to happen for Sachika, or for her to be something more than just a companion watching from the sidelines. Even at that, it's not just a want for Sachika to be a rider, but a slight expectation from hints in the opening. We are shown week after week the characters walking on that CGI stage with bubbles floating around them, Shoma and Hanto both having their suited forms pop up within the bubbles, and then, guess what? The same happens to Sachika, but no rider form. It's empty, nothing in it. Why dangle this in front of us, then just leave it empty? But Ram, or Lakia, the other rider, is just shown later on in the opening with no form popping up in a bubble dog. It's infuriating, really, as the rule of 3 is broken here. Maybe we will find out that originally she was supposed to be a rider, or a secret grenade in production notes, but due to writing changes or complications, maybe that is why she isn't a rider. And don't say it's cause she's human with no fighting experience. Hanto, a writer, is the secondary, and before he became a rider, I never saw him swing a fist. But Sachika has actively been ready to land a hit. This is ridiculous. For a show in 2025 to be doing so much good in one area of the community, sort of insinuating a gay relationship between the two main males, and don't say it's not because they literally said, "I love you," the same words that came out of every other anime confession, J-drama confession ever. To let go of having a female in the team seems so off and regressive, no matter if you think it's them ticking a box or not. Some of you may say, well, they don't have to have one every year, but as I've said countless times before, as a woman, and most likely most of you are not in my shoes, being able to have a female rider is super important and inspiring for me and so many female watchers, no matter how little of us you may think there are. So in a way, you may complain about bad writing, but every time I see a woman Henshin, fight, speak up, it's fire for my soul, it's strength. That may sound dramatic, but most likely, some of you in my audience don't understand what I go through or where I'm coming from. I am also probably going to have so many people in my comments complaining about how I'm going off on one again, but as a man, you may see male riders come in and out of the show like it's second nature. But for us to have a woman in the suit, we have had to wait patiently or fight for them. So of course, I'm going to be disappointed if we don't have one, along with many of my friends. Especially for one character who has done so much good for her fellow characters. As well, if you mention that we have had female grenades. Like, that's fair enough, but that's a villain. Like, I love all the stomachs. I love all the family, characters over there. It's just different when it's an actual rider. You know what I mean? Either way, it is a shame not to utilize her and her inner strength in this show more than they have. The mysteries behind Sachika and not diving into that more is the major misstep in this show for me. I could claim this show as perfect, honestly, and I will, except for that. But either way, what does this commercial mean for Sachika? As I mentioned before, most likely no suit. But for those who are celebrating in my comments again, this won't be the end of my rants or wishes for a female rider in the show or for Sachika to be that rider. I still hold some hope she will transform in some way or do her part for the team. If that is becoming Ram after Lakia dies, or the stomachs kidnap her and make her part grenade, or even force feed her the dark treats. Sorry to get dark there myself, but it could all still happen. She is the light of the group, the glue that keeps them together. I can already tell people are going to be like, well, that's just asking for a Tsukiyomi, but that's not what I'm asking for. But either way, this could be a perfect catalyst for the final fight. And maybe she is the key to Shoma finally defeating the stomachs. Maybe not, but I will always hope for a sick-ass fight scene with Sachika, no matter what that commercial confirms or not.